Good morning. It's Dr. Bill Williams on the Influencers Podcast, coming to you live on Wednesday morning. Yes, it's Influencers Podcast once again. And today I'm talking with Zee Aganovic, CEO of Obivyo. Now, this is going to be a fun time because we're going to be talking about AI impact on e-commerce. We're going to be talking about growth using different e-commerce platforms. Welcome, Zee, to the Influencers Podcast.
Yeah, good morning. So the name is Zee and the company is Obivyo, which is short for obvious.
Very obvious that we have an excellent program today because you're an expert in e-commerce. Tell us more about what happened to get you into the e-commerce space. How'd you get to this location?
It's a life's journey. You probably notice I have accent, which comes from former country Bosnia in Yugoslavia. It used to be Yugoslavia at the time, came to States driven by vision and idea to get a PhD in science, which I did, but then stumbled into startup world, and one business led to another. So the e-commerce is the extension of prior work that we done as technologists and innovators.
Excellent. Well, you've traveled the path. You've reached the pinnacle of your profession. You've done well. Being in Boca Raton, how is that? How do you like being down in Florida?
No complaints, especially today when there's a first winter freeze all around the country. This is the beginning of good season in Florida. So humidity is down and temperature is down. So no complaints.
I'm very jealous. We have our first frost today in Atlanta, Georgia. That's supposed to be the South. No, we get cold weather here too.
I know.
So, hey, all along the way, as you were developing your expertise in the e-commerce space and helping other people be successful, tell us what was one of the places that you traveled where you tripped and fell and skinned your knee. What did you learn, and how'd you get up from that and recover?
Yeah. So, as you know, whenever you try to do something new, and when you go less a traveled road, you will make more mistakes than right decisions. So I made a lot of them. And as a matter of fact, with the employees, we always emphasize, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid of your mistakes. It's not the mistake, it's what you do after you make that mistake. So probably the biggest one that I made was to get myself fired from the startup I built. So, it's your baby, you develop it, you raise tens of millions of dollars of investors' money, build a team of 110, 120 people, and one day they fire you from your own company. So you can be mad, you can be sad. My attitude day one was they did me a favor. And my wife looked at me and she said, you got to be crazy. So I said, look, if there is no agreement in which direction to take the company, and if you are interfering or impeding development of the business, then there's a point where I'm starting to waste my time. I'm starting to be less motivated, less inspired. So I had to take a hard look on the things I did wrong. And I found a lot of mistakes I made in building that business. So I decided to, next time around, at least avoid those mistakes so that we don't repeat the same thing. And luck would have it that the next company was successful and was acquired by Microsoft. So was a kind of a positive turnaround. And it was from one end of the extreme where you lose control of a business that you develop over a long period of time and put all the emotions and intellect into it, to another end of the extreme where you manage to now apply yourself to something new and something different and emerge on the other side with some level of success.
See, I can identify exactly with what you're saying. I developed 2 dental practices over my 47 years. I sold both of them, and I was fired from the first one, and I went on to set up the second one. I was fired because the guy was jealous that I was doing too well. And as I had sold him the practice, I was still busier than he was. And he was not interested in letting me stay as an associate working for him because he didn't feel like he could grow until I was gone. So essentially, he pushed me out the door, and I got to start my second practice. And it was 5 times bigger than that first one when I sold it just 20 years later. So yeah, I understand your pain, but I also understand your glee when you succeeded in your second business just as well or better.
Yeah, no, it's just like, number one, I do not claim that I did not give investors reasons to fire me. So, but I had to look at inside and better understand how everything developed. And, there are things I do not control, but there were things I do control. So I must admit that I have done many things that if I was the investor, I would not be happy with myself. So that was the part of my own learning, taking the ownership of the whole situation. Like when things break, you can always blame the other side, which is outside of your control, and you can be disappointed and depressed and whatever else, helps nobody. Or you can pick up the pieces and say, this is what I did right, and this is what needs improvement. And that was my attitude, like, learn from these things and make it better next time.
So from your perspective, you talk about assisting Shopify businesses and e-commerce platforms being more successful. Can you relate 3 reasons why people who get into that space of e-commerce, why they fail? What are they doing wrong?
Number one, Shopify became a platform for entrepreneurs. They really created the whole new economy. So on one side, you have big tech, Amazon, huge marketplace, but many brands, they want to develop their own identity, innovate their own products, and Shopify became a venue where entrepreneurs can easily create the online success for themselves. Now, what are the reasons that brands succeed and fail? It's the whole business philosophy. Like, do you have a right product? Do you have a product market fit? Do you have a pricing? Did you build your brand? How do you get attention in the marketplace? So it's a long chain of interdependent things that you need to put together to create a viable and successful business. And I would say that there is a lot of success in that arena, that a lot of people develop very successful businesses, apply their passion, their ideas. So that's one of the reasons that we decided to develop a technology that would enable those entrepreneurs to be more successful themselves.
So you were part of the technology development area to lay on top of a Shopify program or an e-commerce platform to make them more successful.
Yes. So you can see Shopify as your virtual store, your online store. But then when shoppers come into that store, they want to have a pleasant, delightful buying experience. And above all, they want to be able to find what they need quickly, because nobody has in online world patience to search, to navigate, to dig and work hard to spend their money. So this is where we come. We have a personalization technology that enables shoppers to quickly discover products they want to buy if they exist on that store, assuming that there is a product of interest. How we do that the algorithms are detecting or correlating every action that the visitor on that store is making with potential product interest. It's like every click is buying signal if you can match it with the right product and create the proper buying experience. So that's small segment, discrete role that we play in much bigger e-commerce universe.
Well, let's define further what your company does, Obivyo. What well-defined product or service do you actually offer people that have an e-commerce platform?
Yeah, specifically, it's like product recommendations. So when you come on the site, you often see recommended for you, inspired by your whatever prior purchases, inspired by products you viewed, similar products that you should buy together or consider as the alternative, discover brands, etc. So all of these product discovery features often are called just product recommendations. So that's the type of product we provide, layer on the top of existing e-commerce site that provides that easy access to products of interest.
Is there a particular client that would be somebody that's ideal to use your service?
Yeah. So Shopify world is huge. They have over 4 million stores online. So almost all of them are small entrepreneurs, very small shops. But within Shopify universe, you have a Shopify Plus, emerging Shopify Plus category for larger brands, companies who are doing, let's say, more than $5 million in online revenues, $3 to $5 million in online revenues. Typically, they go to next level of e-commerce, which is Shopify Plus. So those are the customers that need our service. Plus, it is the customer that has a product catalog with lots of products. A lot of stores are very narrow focus. They have a specific widget, specific unique product that they sell. So there's no need for product discovery if you have few products. If you have hundreds of products or many brands have thousands or tens of thousands of products, then it's a huge catalog. And like the big challenge, how do you connect that shopper with the product of interest in few seconds? Nobody will spend hours searching your catalog to find what they want.
Do you cover any business other than Shopify as far as an e-commerce platform?
Right now, that's a total focus on Shopify. And actually, more we work with Shopify, more we learn how better we can be. So before we will branch out and bring the same technology to other e-commerce platforms, we committed to perfect the art on Shopify first.
So how do you find these clients that would be perfect for your business?
It's a challenge for every business how to connect with the marketplace. And it is the multiple channels that lead to our offering. So number one, Shopify has its own application marketplace. So those merchants, similar to, let's say, iPhone, you go and buy the app for your iPhone. Shopify has the equivalent on their platform. So you can go and find the applications that will make Shopify better. Another one is like organic and word of mouth that we get lots of interest. And then other marketing activities that we do, including outbound outreach to very specific targeted list of customers.
Do you have a lot of competition for this particular thing that you do?
Yeah, you always have competitors. Like if you don't have a competitors, it's a challenge to build the marketplace and demand. So you need competitors. There are maybe 5 to 10 very successful companies on Shopify marketplace. We think that they have a really good products, nothing as a complaint or objections to what they do. The difference is methodology. All other competitors are basing their recommendations on the past, what was done before on their store. Our methodology is what exactly shopper is doing right now, to use that to predict the future. So instead of using past to predict the future, it's like adapt in real time to shopper's behavior during that short buying session. You have whatever, 20 seconds, 30 seconds max to connect with that shopper and get his interest.
You really hit me on that one. I like it. It was like, I've not heard anybody doing it your way. So you talk about the success secrets. That sounds like one of the big ones you have is trying to make a decision based on what's happening in the now, not in the past.
Exactly. So, famous Wall Street disclaimer that past performance of whatever funds and stocks are not guarantee of future.
Absolutely.
Return.
Your history is not your destiny.
Yes, exactly.
What other things do you do that sets yourself apart?
I mean, in a business arena, it's the innovation. It's the collaboration with clients. We spend exorbitant amount of time meeting with the customers. We use every opportunity to get in front of customer and listen, because we may think that people need something, but if people don't even understand that they have a problem, it's hard to connect, it's hard to communicate. So often people talk about same thing using different terms, and they pass each other like ships in the middle of the night. So we believe that better understanding of the day in life of customer, what they do, how they think, is the inspiration and motivation for us to then collaborate and build the product. So that's one thing. And the other one correlated to that is we go out of our way to serve the customer. So, the idea is always when customer has a problem, solve that problem, talk later. So even if that means we will burn some unnecessary resource and money that potentially is not our mistake or problem, we will go an extra mile to even detect and figure out and say, look, it is not us, it's this application that's breaking the things. Temporary, we can fix it for you, but you need to talk to another vendor and have that as a long-term fix, etc. So those are the things we learn from our customers, and we are committed because we see this as a long-term relationship. It's not like this quarter or this month how much money we make with customers. It's creating a long-term prosperous win-win relationship.
So it sounds like you're explaining all the 5-star client experience evidence that you've already put in place. How do you deliver, the best quality, stand by them, go for lifetime value, not just quick profits? What else do you do?
Oh, what else we do? This is, the focus is on a customer. On the other side, we are constantly learning about new technologies, new methods. As a company, we are growing. So we see transformation in the marketplace. So we want to be current. We want to be part of the transformation. So one of the reasons that we move into AI space is our prediction that this is going to be next super cycle in the economy, something that will affect every facet of how business and even interaction and communication between people is being done. So we are avid learners, and we are absorbing and implementing and adapting whatever new is happening in the marketplace, bringing it down to our customers and educating them, number one, about risk and potential. There's always risk of do nothing or be too late to the party. And there's also risk of overspending or being too early or implementing wrong things, etc. And then on the potential side, what this could bring to your business today. And interestingly enough, there's so much that's already available that will make businesses better, more profitable, grow fast, all those things.
That's very interesting material you're talking about when you talk about AI impact on the e-commerce scene. Zee, what is the thing that you're noticing right now? What are you seeing that AI will do for a company that's in the e-commerce space?
Yeah, so it will potentially impact every aspect of how business is being done, starting with the marketing, starting with the ability to get the market attention. As you know, today we dominated by big tech. And one of the dominant ways of attracting customers to your business is paid search. The bad news is Google is monopoly. Probably 95 to 99% of all paid search expense goes to Google. And they have no interest to optimize it for you. They are optimizing their business model for themselves. So AI is kind of creating the counter force, creating new ways how people can market their products, connect in the marketplace, basically leverage existing social media, existing ways of communication, but bypass that dependency on single source of paid marketing that basically exists today.
I think you hit a real solid point there, that we're rapidly coming to the place where we can bypass the Google giant.
Yeah, look, kudos to them. They develop good business for themselves, but when it becomes a monopoly like it is today, then all the decisions that they make, and they started to make decisions like before you would get keywords that people use to search and find your business. Then they turn that light off. Then, which limits your ability to get free exposure and traffic to your site. And then, next thing that they did, they now blended ads with the search results. So if you don't pay attention, you do not discriminate which one is paid and which one is the organic search result, which further removed your ability to get organic traffic. And then when you move to the paid search, before it was easy to index and measure performance of different ads, they changing ways how you index that. So now they turn that lights off. So you have no idea which ad is working well for you or not. And Google is now promoting their AI where, like, trust me, just give me X amount of dollars and we will spend that money for you and deliver results. It just puts you in a unmanageable situation. If you cannot measure, you cannot manage. And they are taking that measurement away from you. And even new Google Analytics is just like disrupting the way how you track and measure results.
Well, you sounded a alarm right there. People all around the world that didn't know this are going, I didn't know Big Brother was invading our big tech, but yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it is Big Brother. I think it's successful entrepreneurs. I mean, Google accomplished something amazing, but I think the healthy economy is economy with a lot of competition, fair competition, not unfair, fair competition. So unfair competition is if you're able to buy market. And for example, Google pays $10 billion a year to Apple to be the default search engine on Apple machine.
Yeah.
Apple devices. So that basically stopped anybody else from competing in that
Yeah,
arena.
monopolies do tend to take advantage of the little guy, and we're definitely, majority of us are little guys, right? Hey, let's look at some personal things now. We want to talk about you and what you're grateful for today.
Oh, how much time you have? So everything from family to friends to community I live in, the society we live in, even the period in history that we live in, like all the possibilities that we have with the information, with the ability to learn, to communicate, to travel, to meet other people and cultures. So a lot of things to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Including living, businesses in Boca, but Delray Beach. I personally live next door to Boca Raton. It's Delray Beach, which is a sunny day today.
From Bosnia to Boca.
Yes.
Great story. Love it. How do you actually start your day? Get up and do what?
Yeah. So number one, I always look forward to new day. It's like excitement of what would happen or what I would do this day. I do stretching and I do morning meditation. So that warms my brain for day to come. That gives me creative ideas, fills my day with, okay, these are the things I will prioritize. You get some ideas, you'll put them on a paper. So mornings are the most important part of my day. And I typically wake up just before sunrise on my own. I never use alarm clock.
That's a nice thing to be able to do, is not have an alarm clock.
Yes.
I realized as I got older that it was not all about going to work, and you needed to start taking care of things at home, self, spiritual balance, work balance, family balance. Do you do anything physically to keep in shape, like yoga, Pilates, exercise, workout at the gym, anything like that?
I do. So I like to run, and my treat is running on the beach. So I live nearby beach, so I can do it year round. I have a group of friends. We play tennis, and I have another group that plays golf with me. So I manage that calendar. Before I used to run more, so I did marathon, but I don't want to destroy my knees and hips, so I kind of reduce the long distance running, and I replace it with just like casual.
Well, you're certainly an athlete if you've done all those things, so kudos to you, keeping up the good health. What's your goal now in life? Where do you want to go from here?
It's not like having one goal, one thing. I just want to continue journey. I was fortunate enough to have a interesting journey that led me to exciting places, to meet interesting people, to learn from different people. So I want to continue this journey, but as you are moving, you're changing the shape of that journey. At certain period of time, it's more focused on family, it's more focused on material things. So I would like to make a shift toward more of what can I do for community, like participate, be useful part of my local community or even global place where we all live.
Yeah, I often ask people that question. What do you want to be remembered for when it's all said and done? What would be your thoughts on that?
Yes, somehow I don't have that on my mind. Like, it's not my concern, me being remembered. I just feel a need to live my days. We all have a limited number of hours and minutes and seconds given to us. I want to make them meaningful. to the fullest. So I'm not planning to retire. So even if I'm not involved in a business, I want to be active, do something fully, like not casually. So that's my goal. And while I'm here, if I can contribute, if I can inspire somebody, teach somebody, contribute to something, that would be my mission. What happens after that, who cares? That's more for vanity and ego, and that's not me.
So you're saying you want to be impactful in the now. It's not so
Yeah.
important that they remember you for doing anything, but you want to change the world to be a better place?
I cannot say change the world. I want to make my contribution to the extent of limitations, human and other limitations that we all have. And I think if we all make that positive contribution, that compounded effect will make this world a beautiful place.
Absolutely. I always ask the question to my guest, think about yourself back when you were 20, a long time ago for both of us. Yeah. What would you give the advice to that 20-year-old self?
Oh, that's a big one. Couple things. Number one, think bigger. Like all limitations are in our head. So as you can imagine, when you're coming from a small country where everything is limited and small, and you think you have big ideas, but then you come to big country where you see even don't limit yourself. Another one is be patient. Think long term, long run. Put yourself on like what you would do, not just for immediate gratification. What are the things that you can accomplish going forward? And then the big one is be better listener, because learning is about listening and being open to other people's ideas. So I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of interesting people and learn from, but I don't think I'm still the best listener. I'm going out of my way to learn that listening skill, but I didn't get there yet.
I understand. If you had to give people a way to reach you, to support you, your company, how would they reach you?
Yeah, so maybe the best way is to follow me on LinkedIn, and how they can support me. I think collaboration. I would love to collaborate with alike people, and that would be the biggest support. So I'm starting to publish more frequently, more often on LinkedIn, and I would like to engage so that we can collaborate and make business better or society better. And small things, as I said minutes ago, they can compound and become a big thing. So that would be the only thing I could say that could support me.
Absolutely. Well, I'll put your LinkedIn information in our show notes so people can actually reach out on LinkedIn to find you. Do that for you, Zee. How was your experience on the show today?
Well, I enjoy conversation with you, Bill. You're natural. I wish you were doing this when you were young, in your 20s. You have that personality. Who knows what else you would accomplish if you started when you were young.
I tell you, I could have been somebody, right?
No, you are somebody, but you would emerge in a different shape and form.
Absolutely, I believe you're right.
Yeah,
I enjoy teaching others, and I've always enjoyed my one-on-one communication with my patients over the years. But I also enjoyed the masterminds we did and the teaching we did in classroom settings. So, this has been a fun place to be, hanging out with friends. Making new friends on Influencer Podcasts is really my purpose. Knowing that people are doing better and improving the lives of others just by sharing the wisdom of sages. The sages of the world, the wisdom is carried by the people who've done it. So that's kind of what I like to do, is share my friends with the rest of the world. I want to give you the final word before we come back and turn the show off and close out the day today. So I'm going to give you the final word, and then I'll come right back.
Yeah, so I appreciate the opportunity, and I wish I can return favor to you, Bill. So let me know how I can serve you and your mission.
Okay, that's the final word from my friend Zee at Obivyo. Obviously.
Obviously, Obivyo, exactly.
So if you want to get in touch with me, people in the audience listening here that are friends of Zee or friends of mine who don't know, I have the QR code up here that we created with our own product. And that QR code actually goes to my digital business card, where you can reach me and you can find out more about what I'm doing. Of course, where does it show? It shows the Influencer Podcast. It shows my main website, drbillwilliams.tv, my personal website that shows a little bit about my career in dentistry, coaching and teaching dentists, but also about what we're doing now in the IT field. And speaking of the IT field, the AI technology that we're putting into all of our products is exactly what Zee's been talking about. We integrate our technology into the program so that we can improve your business, be more efficient. So anybody who wants to get free information, free advice, you can connect with us. And we have a video platform for digital video conferencing, Zee, where we will have translation from English to any other language. This is going to be a big plus for our business to be able to have a conference and speak to people in Slovenia, Slovakia, any of the countries where you used to live.
Yes.
I can speak to those people.
Excellent. Slovenia is quite unique. They used to be Republic of former Yugoslavia, and they're very sophisticated. They're a high-tech region of that part of the Europe. So a lot of interesting things happening in Slovenia.
And what if I could talk to the Bosnians at the same time?
Of course.
And the Greeks.
The interesting thing is all young people in the region now speak fluent English. So you will have no problem finding them and conversing in English.
And Croatia?
Croatia, absolutely.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day where we can all connect together, and it's going to be the best. Thank you again for being on our show today on the Influencers Podcast, and I encourage everybody to connect with us through any of these links. The LinkedIn will be in the show notes, as I said, for getting in touch with Zee. And stay tuned for another session with the Influencers Podcast coming up Friday. It's good to see you, Zee. Thanks for being part of our team.
Thank you, Bill.